What is also on my mind is collaboration will drive a decade of productivity. A decade of productivity like you saw in the developed worlds from the mid-90s through mid-2005. A decade of productivity that the top financial advisors in the world, Dr. Greenspan and others, would have said was impossible. But we saw it grow to 4 to 5% productivity growth in many of the developed countries. You're going to see an instant replay of that. You will see it based upon video. You'll see it changed on different organization structures and different business models. And these business models will be more around a collaborative approach to business as opposed to command and control. The second vocabulary I'd like to share is a philosophy of breaking everything you do into a vision 5 to 10 years out. Sustainable differentiation, being realistic. If you're not doing it different than others, you're going to get the same result as others, except you're going to be behind them 2 to 4 years. And then what are you going to do execution in the next 12 to 18 months? So whether it's as simple as responding to a terrible disaster in Haiti or an earthquake in China or a hurricane in Mississippi, or as complex about moving into the data center or moving into the consumer or a whole video architecture, this is what we do at Cisco. And its ability to have these new business models built around vision, strategy, and execution, combined with the ability to see where markets are going. So when you say, what do we watch at Cisco? We watch what the customers tell us they want to do. We catch market transitions, and then we build our whole strategy around a vision of what do we want to look like 5 or 10 years out? What do we want to look like in terms of our sustainable differentiation? And then what are we going to do in the next 12 to 18 months? So when you talk about sustainable competitive advantage, I think it's around those areas. Having the courage to rewrite the textbooks and realize that when you do things others have not done or others have only done marginally well, you've got to have the courage to dream, the ability to apply the operational excellence to sustainable differentiation, and then never lose track of each step that you do should move you closer to that vision of where you want to go. What I'm really saying is we're moving from the basics on the left to efficient innovation on the right. For the citizens of any country around the world, moving from siloed government and agencies with different ministries to one image. The ability, instead of ICT, to be here's what we're doing in health, or here's what we're doing in education, or here's what we're doing to enable business, to suddenly pull it together to enable the strategy of a country or a region. The ability, instead of talking about broadband in terms of penetration, to talk about when we build out this superhighway, what are the applications we're going to use to change people's lives, both from education or healthcare or entertainment or work from home. And moving from IT being a discussion about is it an expense or not, to IT enabling your whole strategy. Moving from one where you might view the role of government or your individual function in your business to cooperate together, to one being where they collaborate in ways they've never done before. That's what you see this country and other countries within the region doing. Ability to set a very aggressive goal that most people say is unattainable, and yet to constantly move toward that goal in ways that haven't been done. The ability to think about what this means in terms of access and affordability for every citizen within a country, within a region, and to help the underserved in unique ways, but to have the courage to do public-private partnerships, which are even harder than acquisitions. But a vision of what's capable of being done and setting numerical goals in place. And it is this capability that I think is going to be outstanding within the region, and the reason we're committed here.